When we slow travel, we take a city by storm and try to craft the most comprehensive city tour possible. We certainly did that with our city tour of Sydney, Australia, and we've created the Sydney Travel Guide based upon our best experiences. Let's start with our picks for the best museums.
We're at the Australian Museum today in Sydney, and it's a really important place and I think a fun place to explore. We've heard a lot about it. This is the official museum of Australia, and it tells the story of the country. It's especially known for being a dinosaur museum, but it tells a lot about the Aboriginal people, the original people that were here and their history, animals. There's a shark exhibit that we're going to see here today, and it's especially known for just telling all things Australia. So it's a really neat place to come and explore and learn about all things Australia. Our favorite portion of the museum is the dinosaurs, and the kind of prize collection is behind me. This big guy is a plant eater, and he is huge. But the real scary one is this smaller one down here. He's a predator and would often hunt in packs. So you can just imagine being chased by this guy. It's a really interesting, really cool exhibit, and so far for sure, this is our favorite part. We're here at the Art Gallery of New South Wales, which we've really been excited to come to. It's supposed to have a great collection, and it's free, so that's nice. It's right here by the Botanical Gardens. You can't miss it. It's supposed to be a wonderful collection, and we got a good day. So we've walked over here, and we're going to check it out. One of the first things you notice when you walk in here is how beautiful the building is. So even if you're not that interested in the art, the building itself's a real treat.
The gallery is a flagship cultural institution for Australia, since it is located only a 15-minute walk from the city center, and with free admission and free daily guided tours, you should not miss this museum.
When you come to the Art Gallery of New South Wales, you got to make sure you come over to the new extension. It's next door, you can't miss it. And that's where we are right now. It's this beautiful space, very contemporary architecture, expansive spaces, a lot of glass, vast amounts of space. It's a really neat way of presenting all the art. They're most known for the Aboriginal collection of art here in this space, but it's got all kind of contemporary and other art here as well. It's a real adventure just kind of walking around here and experiencing the space. It's beautiful, and everywhere you look, there's a different view outside. So it's a really cool space. I think we're going to be here a while.
We've just entered the Powerhouse Museum. We don't know a lot about it, but we do know it is the Science Museum. But we hear it might be just for kids. We're not sure, so we're going to explore it ourselves and see if it has something to offer us as adults.
We're here at the Powerhouse Museum in Sydney, and this has really been a lot of fun. We had heard about it. It's lesser known than, of course, the traditional museums like Australia and that kind of thing, but it's really cool. We thought it might just be a science museum, but so far it seems very adult. There seems to be something for everybody. We just finished with this really cool exhibit. It was a special exhibit that's here for several months about going on tour and all the tours that came through Australia in this guy's collection, Pav, that had all of this footage and photos and memorabilia from Australian tours, and how the touring artists like Nirvana and Courtney Love and all these people experienced Australia. So we're really loving it. It's a neat place to come, and we think it's a hidden gem and one that you should love too.
Now, this part of the Powerhouse Museum is my jam. We're in the Space and Aeronautics section. They have these huge planes and satellites and spacecraft all over in this section, so it's really cool. Another must-see area of the museum is the experimentation room, where you become the scientist and innovator by interacting with machines that do extraordinary things.
One of the things you've got to do when you come to Sydney is check out the White Rabbit Gallery. It's this amazing free museum. It's the collection of one woman that sponsors the museum, and it's got wonderful Chinese art, all kinds of Chinese art. We had a really neat collection today, and if you get here, make sure you take the tour. We took a tour from a wonderful docent here that told us a lot of stories about the art and really gave it context and texture. We loved it, and it's a great thing to do here in Sydney. We're here at the White Rabbit Gallery in Sydney, and they've got these really neat books. Supposedly, if you open them up and read them, you'll become enlightened.
Visiting the Hyde Park Barracks is essential to understanding the history of the convicts who settled this region. See our other video on this museum where we learned what it was like for them. The last museum we'll mention is the National Maritime Museum. It includes the opportunity to tour the sailing ships, battleships, and submarine docked outside. See our other full video review of that museum. Of course, you can't come to Sydney without hitting at least one of its many beautiful beaches, and arguably the most famous is the gorgeous Bondi Beach. Remember to grab a selfie at the Icebergs pool and see our other video where we spend a full day at this beach.
We're here in Manly, and it's a short ferry ride. They say it's 30 minutes, but it really felt shorter than that for us. From Circular Quay in Sydney straight over here. Very beautiful ride. One tip before we even get going here in Manly is you'll be tempted to want to grab seats on the outside of the ferry. And they're nice, but let me tell you what, it's hot. So one of the things we recommend is that you grab a seat inside, settle down, you got 30 minutes, and then leave your seat as you want to and go look and get pictures and that kind of stuff on the ferry because it's much more comfortable inside. Also, they have free Wi-Fi. Once you get here, there's a couple of beaches right on either side of the wharf. Those are not the main beach. There's actually an area that you walk straight through, which is where we are now, onto the main Manly Beach, and that's where we're going now, in between some shopping and some usual stuff. But we've got a great day, and we're looking forward to exploring now. We made it to Manly Beach, and it's beautiful. It's just a short walk from the ferry, and as you can see, it's a gorgeous place. It's not as wide and as kind of big, and you don't have the high elevation that you have at Bondi, but it's a beautiful beach. The water's moving pretty fast. I don't think we would get in that water, but it's a really gorgeous place to be. And I think you really come to Manly for the vibe. It's got a really nice kind of cool vibe around here. There's a lot of fun people. Obviously you have the beautiful water, the air, and the wind, and there's plenty of things to see and do. We're going to grab a beer here in a few minutes and are looking forward to exploring around.
While many people come to Manly to swim at the beach, of course, we like to walk along the trails. There are tons of very scenic trails all along the coast here, and they're just beautiful.
They really are. They're really well maintained. They're wide and easy and somewhat flat, and they hug the coastline here, so you get a beautiful view the whole way between all the beaches. And we're about to come up on the famous triangular pool. Most of the Australian beaches have pools because there's so much movement in the water, and the one at Manly is famous because it's triangular, right here.
The last beach we'll mention is Watson's Bay. It's a little less well known, but it's incredible, so we consider it a hidden gem. See our other video on this place where we explore the beach, its trails, and take in the unique views of the city from here.
We're now on our way to Taronga Zoo. We're really excited about this. We've heard a lot of good stuff from all the people that we know that have been there, so we're going there on a perfect day. We took the metro from our Airbnb to Circular Quay Metro, which is where we're at now, and then transferred within the same building to the ferry port, which is where we are now. The city's behind us. It's a beautiful day, and we're going to just take the ferry over there in about 10 minutes. A couple of tips. You need to buy your zoo tickets online, even if it's same day. It saves you time and it saves you money. The other thing is we didn't see any need to combine the zoo ticket or any other event ticket with the ferry. We're just using the regular ferry system that's just part of the metro transportation system here, and we think that's best. We're off. Here's a tip. We just found out that we got here about 12:20 by the time we took the ferry and then the bus up here, and we missed the koala encounter, which was at 11 o'clock. It looks like it's only from 11 to 12:45. I think we can still meet koalas, but I'm not sure we're going to have the same experience we were expecting. So if you want to get here for the experiences, they start early. Like 10 o'clock in the morning. They go all day, so we'll see other ones. But if you want to get here early to see the encounter, you better plan for it.
We think that part of the allure of coming to Taronga Zoo is that you can get like the best view of the city from here. The views are spectacular.
Once you've learned about Australian wildlife, you need to turn to the sea. The Sea Life Aquarium is world-class and makes for a fun experience, even for adults. See our full video about our day at the aquarium. We've traveled north of the CBD to a spot where I think it's the best place to stand for a selfie. It's right underneath the Harbour Bridge, and right across from that is the Sydney Opera House.
It's a really cool perspective that we haven't had so far. So it was neat coming down here and being so close to the bridge. I mean, as you can tell, we're right underneath it. Along the water here, there's a lot of shops and different things to do. But the real cool thing here is the totally different perspective you have not only on the bridge, but on the Opera House as well. It's a really cool spot.
And the water, you're right next to the water, and it's really cool to see all of the ferries go by. Great spot.
Then we found the access ramp to walk up onto the bridge itself. It's safe, and this afforded a unique perspective on the city.
It's really cool to be walking atop the Sydney Harbour Bridge. The views are, as you can guess, spectacular. A lot of people say that you should take the walk up to the top of the Harbour Bridge, but if you've done any research on that, you know that it is hundreds of dollars. Our recommendation instead is to go up the pylon through the lookup point. There is a museum inside there, and you can get just as spectacular views from there as top of the bridge itself, and it's a lot safer and a lot cheaper. We're currently walking through the Barangaroo district right now. It's a massive space of redevelopment here in Sydney. It's been going on for several years. This all used to be shipping docks and warehouses and such. And way before that, it used to be a very special place for the Indigenous Aboriginals. So lately, the Sydney government has decided to redevelop all of this and make it mixed use, like retail and residential and office space, and it's just massive. It's really cool. I think it's going to be a special place when it's done. I, in particular, have been wanting to see the observatory up on the hill, just very close to the Harbour Bridge. There is a price, it's not free, but you can come and get a tour of the facilities and do a bit of stargazing. You won't see much. They're not particularly powerful telescopes, but you can see some near-Earth objects and even some places around the city. So it's a pretty cool place. In front of the observatory, there is just this incredible spot for taking a picture of the Harbour Bridge and getting a selfie there as well. So check it out.
One place you won't want to miss when visiting Sydney is the Rocks neighborhood. This is Sydney's oldest historical area, located very near the Harbour Bridge. It was originally the site of the first European colony. Today, the Rocks has been restored to a thriving area with cafes, restaurants, craft shops, and a lively nightlife.
We've ventured outside of the CBD for a bit to go over to King's Cross. It's a really cool entertainment district that has a lot of bars and entertainment venues.
We were cruising around King's Cross and really liked the area. You saw the usual stuff like the Coca-Cola sign, but we came right over to Potts Point, which is where we are now, which is really a very nice area, really nice neighborhood. We're at a very authentic Italian restaurant now. Really beautiful homes, really nice area, nice retail. So you can come straight over from King's Cross, just a little bit up to Potts Point, and have a really nice time.
We're in the Chinese Garden of Friendship.
This is one of the top things to do in Sydney. We've heard a lot about it from friends and research. And what we've discovered is it's actually built on an ancient 5th century garden in terms of its design and structure. And it incorporates yin and yang and all of these things that are really supposed to give you a very calm, relaxing respite within the central business district of Sydney.
This place is so beautiful and just tranquil and peaceful, and it's laid out so beautifully, and there's kind of like little mazes, so you can wander in and out of different pavilions, and there's always something new to see right around the corner. One little known fact is that there was actually a movie filmed here. You may remember Hugh Jackman in the Wolverine franchise. And in one installment, he fought the Japanese Yakuza here in these gardens. So go check out the film and see if you recognize any of the set pieces from here at the garden. We're here in Spice Alley, which is a must-go-to place whenever you're in Sydney. You get some really great deals here. It is a little tricky to find. We'll try to put something in the description about how to get here, but you have your choice of all kinds of great Asian cuisine. I'm trying a Malaysian dish here. I've never had it before, but it looks wonderful, so dig in. There's shrimp, there's beef, there's rice noodles. Oh yeah, lots of flavor, real depth of flavor. It's hot, not a lot of spice, just a lot of layers of different flavors. And I love egg noodles, really good.
I'm adding a Mongolian chicken. It's really good. It's super hot and it's really flavorful. The chicken's great, and I love rice, along with some iced tea. We're taking it easy today on the weekend. We just had breakfast with friends and we're gonna hang out today at the market. One of the things you can do, it's really fun and easy to do around Sydney, is go to some of the markets. And here today, we're at Paddy's Market in Haymarket. And it's a Sunday, there's a lot of people here. And it's kind of fun to roam around and see all the low-cost items and different stuff they had. If you need your phone repaired, you've come to the right place because there's a lot of that, along with other t-shirts and hats and items and that kind of thing. There's some food here. There's even a barber shop here if you need a haircut. But we love the soap. They have some handmade soap and other stuff here that we really appreciated. So it's a fun way to kind of kick around and see what's going on a Sunday. Today we're at a hidden gem in Sydney near Redfern. It's a renovated industrial space and it's huge. It's really cool space. On Saturdays in the morning they have a farmer's market, but with the rest of the time it's an art and performance space. And here for World Pride, they've got a focus on installations related to queer Aboriginal artists. It's a really neat, kind of provocative, fringe, artistic space and a lot of fun. We had a good time here and we think you would too.
For a real change of pace, head over to Sydney's version of Madame Tussauds Waxworks. Honestly, we didn't recognize some of the Australian stars, but others were a hoot and so much fun. We were like kids on a playground and we had a blast. The ticket can be bundled with the aquarium and other attractions, so give it a shot.
If you want to do something just a little out of the ordinary, then we recommend that you come over to the lobby bar at the Ace Hotel.
It was really good food. There was a DJ there for World Pride. I don't know if it's that way all the time, but we had really nice beer and we had really good food. I thought the food was really good. I had a croque monsieur sandwich that was amazing. He had a burger. So
Delicious.
Cool vibe, easy, really very comfortable seating and a neat place to just grab some food, maybe a drink, and like he said, a little different. So it was fun.
Of course, you can't come to Sydney without touring around the famous Opera House. We actually went inside to an actual opera there, so check out that previous video.
We're here with this great view of the Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Opera House, which is right around toward the end of the Botanic Garden under this beautiful tree. So if you want this view, you can come get it too by coming through the Botanical Garden and up by the big tree.
Crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me.
We're at the top of the Sydney Eye. It's a beautiful day and we got a great view of the city. This is the tallest viewing platform in all of Sydney. And we waited until the end of our trip to be able to kind of pick out all the things that we've done over the last almost month here in Sydney. It's a beautiful view. You come up an elevator that's pretty quick after a quick movie that they give you at the bottom, but it's really beautiful. It's well air conditioned and there's a 360-degree view of the city here. And on this clear day, we can see everything. So pretty neat experience. A really neat thing to do in Sydney that's a little different is come to Luna Park that you see behind me. It's an amusement park from the 1930s and it's really known for being historic and it has this amazing Art Deco architecture like you see behind me. It's an original amusement park from the 1930s that was actually based on New York's Coney Island from the 1900s. So it's got a lot of American connection and history. It's a really neat thing to do. It's free to enter, and if you want to ride, you have to pay for the rides, but you can walk around and see everything here. It's right under the bridge, it's right here on the water, and it has this amazing view of the Opera House.
We're approaching the end of our time here in Sydney, and by pure coincidence, we're underneath the Harbour Bridge, and we see our ship, the Viking Mars, approaching the harbour now, and we're going to be on that ship tomorrow.
This is so crazy. We're literally just bumming around here on our last day and checking things out. It's a little overcast and rainy. We're walking down the hill and he said, there's a cruise ship. And we're like, oh my God, that's the one we're going to be on tomorrow. So it's really cool to see it coming into the harbor against the view of the city here. We're really excited to get on it for the next 30 days.
Before we get on that ship, we need to tell you how much Sydney cost. Look for our cost breakdown video.